Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let me zoom out of here a little bit because it's way too close. Ah, okay, there we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope everybody is doing fine on this lovely day. Um, Today I missed out streaming yesterday, cause life, life happens. So what I thought I wanted to do is I want to catch up on a few projects and get a few things done. This lovely little pencil box I started, my very first kind of dot painting job. Not great, not perfect, but I'm okay with that. Um, but I want to get it done so that I can seal it up and then I can use it for my pencils and things. I really enjoy this. I got this at a thrift shop. And I want to say, actually, this is my very, very first one on a rock, on an actual bona fide rock from outside. Uh, some of the paint is chipped, but what are you going to do? Anyways, this was my very first bona fide job. This is kind of my second. So, I mean, it's coming. It's not perfect, but it's coming. So, I want to actually get that done. I need to get that done. Then I want to discuss some meandering books that I am dipping my toes into because I like to make my own sketchbooks or watercolor books. So I was practicing different ways of doing it. So I have got some watercolor paper and a cover that I'm going to make. And so we're going to have a lovely meandering book. We'll see how that comes out and catch you up on some of the other things I have been working on. Okay, so this little guy, I got it to this point, and then of course it was wet everywhere. So I wanted to finish this up. So my plan is I'm going to use a ruler and I'm going to create some guidelines. And like this would be right kind of in the middle. You know what? Not very sharp. I would rather have a sharper pencil to work with. So let's just sharpen it and be done with it. Okay, so I've got my just regular pencil sharpener. Let's get her done. Get her nice and sharp. Right? I hate it when that happens. Oh, sad face. I hate it when that happens. Okay, let's try again. Let's try again. I don't know why these charcoal pencils do that. Goodness, it just crumbles and the tip just falls right off. Okay, try it again. Patience. Patience is a virtue. Sitting here going, wow, the point I had before was actually not so bad. Okay. Ah. Mm-mm, mm-mm-mm. Okay, try it again. Okay, let's get... There we go. Okay. Something was stuck in there. See? Look, it keeps breaking. I have a different sharpener. Let me try that. Let's see what happens here. Okay, it's not playing the game. So I'm going to use a pencil because it's on black. I mean, I'll be able to see it. And I was experiencing this with a different charcoal pen. And I went and I replaced it. And I'm just not sure why it's happening. If anybody can enlighten me, let me know. My pencil is now half the size it was before. Okay, let's use a pencil because that will be better. I just need some guidelines. That's all I need. Let's do this. The only thing is you probably won't be able to see it. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Well, maybe you can see it too. All right, that's good. Okay, so what I want to do is the primary concern is this horizontal line. And then let's see if we can't put a line over here. I want it, actually, I don't want it to be straight. I want it to be kind of curved over, right? So we'll do it kind of like that. So it's got a bit of a curve to it and it's not crazy straight. And then to the eye, it will be curved, right? Let's just erase this. And we'll see how well this erases too. So the colors I'm using, yeah, that's good. Colors I'm using are this really nice kind of teal color. There we go. And gray, and of course white. There we go. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to be doing larger circles too on all of these as well. And I'm not going by any pattern or anything. I'm just going to play it by ear and see what we can come up with. So look at how big this is. This is kind of, it's about this size. I'm thinking this is actually the blue one. Okay, let's see. So I've got a blue one, a green and a yellow one, and a pink one. And then I've got these tools. Let's take this out of the way. Get our tools. These are just your basic Amazon tools. Let's see what we can come up with. Some rods, styluses. This, and I've got a smaller one. So it goes that, that. Right? And in the blue one, of course. That's bigger than the purple. Right? Okay, so let's see. What are we going to do here? We've got some teal here. So, and we've got teal on these sides. So if we continue with the teal, I think that might be good. So I've got my teal here. I use the Art Deco paints and I just transfer them into these little pots because it's easier. They don't dry out. We'll put that on that side. Okay, so let's just go with the blue size, I think. Right? And then we're going to continue in the middle. I'm just going to try to evenly space them. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be my own. And if I turn this around, and then I'll try to make it around and about the same on this side. That's my phone. Right? So that I want to be able to put a smaller one in between. The smaller size, I think, is the purple rod. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And then let's do the same over here. But we'll go 1, 2, I think. On either side, right? Because I think it's small enough. I have room to be working in between, I think. Oh, I'm gonna like being able to use this, I think. There. And then let's turn it around so I'm not working over top of everything. There we go. And kind of in the middle, kind of in the middle. There. This is just something I wanted to try to dabble in, see what it's like. Okay. And I think I should be able to do the top dots on this because I'm not going to be doing anything else on that. So, um, working, of course, with the same colors, I want to do, yeah, that's a smaller dot. So let's just keep working with this teal color. And we'll put the nice dot on there. Maybe we'll even go back and do a white dot on top of the teal top. Make sure I got enough paint here. And this one goes here. And this one. Yeah, I like it when you have the different colors on top. And I'll have to wait until these ones dry before I put the next color on. Okay, and then on these little teal ones, I'm going to want gray. So I believe, yeah, that's a purple. I do have tinier rods too, like really like small rods. I actually think that might have been that one. So maybe what I'll do, I still have smaller rods, but maybe what I'll do is I'll do it with gray. Let's close this pot. Maybe I'll do it with gray with the stylus. I think that might work well. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure. Oh, let's get more. I don't think that's big enough. I think I do have one like this size as well. So I think I'll do it that way. Because I want a decent sized dot on there. Let's just see here. And it's only the tip that ends up. I think I feel paint. I did. Oh, I didn't smush it. That's good. Okay. Yeah, I think this dot size is better. Here we are. Get the right. Yeah, see, that works really well. Get the right dry dot. There we go. That looks pretty good. I think that'll work. Okay. And then we have these gray dots that I could put white dots in as well. And I want to fill in these ones as well. So let's see. Let's get some gray. I think this is like the ginormous one. Yeah. So if I go down a size, I think that would be good. Like I say, I know nothing about this. I'm really guessing. So all I know is that I want it to look pretty. Oh, that's kind of off center. Okay, let's make it really big then. Good enough. Good enough. I want it. I just want to be able to use it. Yeah, those ones are dicey, but that's okay. Yeah, that's better. Don't push it down so hard. And it's got to have more paint on it. Kiss it. There we go. Yeah. But that's okay. I'm okay with it. It's not like I'm selling them or anything. They don't have to be perfect. I can say, look, a machine did not make these because look at how imperfect it is. Oh, I can do it here too. Okay, let's see if I can get a dot better in the middle. Okay. That's okay. That'll work. That'll work. See, my swooshes are not great, but I mean, I'm learning. I'm learning. Okay, so, um, one thing I do have that might be helpful in this circumstance is I have a little silicone. Oh, it's dry. It's not gonna work. That's okay. Apparently, these silicone little guys, I got this one at the dollar store, um, work really well to pick up paint. Oh, it's still wet, but that one is not wet still, so that's okay. Okay, so we'll get rid of that for now, and then we'll do white on top of the gray, I think. So let's move this out of the way, put this here. And these guys here, I want to say this tip will probably be the best size. Let's just see. I mean, let's just see. Yep, that works. I should be able to do 2 in a row. Or do 3. And this is a really good exercise for my wonky hand. Trying to keep it stable and make it go where I want it to go. And if it doesn't go exactly where I want it to go, I'm okay with that. So these guys have white dots inside of the other dots. I think I might even put a dot there. What do you think? Yeah, 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 I think so. Just to give it a little bit more dimension. Like I say, I'm just doing this freehand. I have no idea. It just is going to look nice, I think. And then I'm going to use like a triple seal on it so I can just use it and not worry about wrecking it. I mean, I got this at a thrift store, painted it black, and it's a nice little pencil case. So I'm cool with that, right? Okay, and then, okay, so most of this is still wet. And then I want to put something in between. Let's see what's our purple one. I'd like it to be a different size. Should be able to just fit, right? Okay, so let's wipe this down. Erin, how are you? Lovely lady. How are you doing? It is good to see you. How's it going? How's the weather there? I am playing catch up on a few things, and this is something I've wanted to get done for what seems like ever, and it just keeps staring at me. So I'm going to get it done today. It's a fact, Jack. It it is an awesome little exercise for my right hand, and we can see how straight I get them. There we go. And then I'll turn it around and do the same thing. Because you know I'm going to smear the paint. You know that's a thing, right? It's going to happen. Are you going to be watching the Olympics? Oh, I need more paint. There we go. I'm not sure. I might end up with it just on the background. In the background, while I get some of my stuff done. There we go. My husband's on his way home too, so I'm not sure how long I'll be able to stream for. Well, 24. Ooh, that's nice. We're actually around the same. And it's got a beautiful, we have a beautiful little breeze. I'm doing really well. I'm doing really well. How are you feeling today? What else am I doing here? I'm not going to make this too busy. I'm not going to make it too busy. I want to do some more walk the dots thingies. Like, I'm just learning about this, so um, maybe I'll do them in between these dots. If I do, let's do this one. Pretty good for not knowing what the heck I'm doing. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I slept pretty good last night. It was all good. Um, we had some big storms the other night. Part of why I didn't stream, we had tornadoes come through just outside of town. So that wasn't very happy. Ooh, that's not very happy, but that's okay. Um, so we had some pretty extreme weather, but nothing bad hit us. So, and nobody was, as far as I can tell, there was no fatalities. So that was good. We were watching the skies pretty good. We've had lots of the bad storms. Did I go down there? I did. Okay, there. Oh, lamb curry. Oh, don't tell my husband. He would love that. Hubby is good. He's gone. Got to go see. Basically, still playing catch up with doctor's appointments. And this one doctor is out of town, so. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate your kind words. Kind of, but it's okay. It's okay. It's going to be a lovely little box for my pencils. And considering I got this at the thrift store, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. It cost me I got it with a whole bunch of other craft stuff, so I'm happy with that. So, um, I'm gonna let this dry, I think. I have a rock that I did that I used a glaze on that I'm really happy with. I like this glaze. And this is just a rock from my garden. I'm going to put it outside in the little library. And people leave rocks and take rocks and paint on rocks and then trade them. And it's very fun and happy. And I have some other artsy things I'm going to put into the little library for people to take home, coloring pages and stickers and things like that. So I'm going to put these things away. Oh, I'm going to show you my progress on my other thing. And another thing that I created. The journey in the eye candy. I completely agree. Oh, noisy, noisy. Okay, so let's put these guys over here for now. We're going to let this dry, and I want it to be nice and glossy, glossy like this, all shiny. I want it to be all shiny like that. But it has to dry, and we have to be patient. So this is what I was working on before with my watercolors on the background. And then I did these little drawings, and then I did it again. Now keep in mind, picture this, all the background with the salt and everything. And I thought, oh, I have a different idea because that's how I roll. And so I did the background, and then I did more traditional neurographic art. And this is where I am so far. So I did all the background, so you can see there's orange and yellows, and you can, when you look hard, you can see where the salt was and things like that. And then I shadowed, and all of a sudden, it looks like rocks. And I'm like, ooh, that's interesting. So you can see if you just look at the black, it's the neurographic art. And so I'm thinking I would like to do that again. And I really enjoy the blue going up to the orange and then all the texture in the background. I know, right? It just kind of pops out at you, right? So, and if I turn it, you can see the shiny is just pencil, graphite pencil that I created this shading with. And if you look really close, all of this texture is just what's in here. It's really kind of cool. I enjoy that a lot. And I actually worked hard to be able to create an image that looked like rocks, and this was so darn easy. So I'm going to be doing that again, and I'd like to actually finish it with some gold veining in the rocks. I think that would look really kind of cool. So I'm going to be doing that. And I heard a beep of something. Oh, I think that's my messenger. Oh, somebody's messaging me. Interesting. Okay. Um, Let me just check, make sure it's not my husband, because yeah, that's a thing. Um, okay, let's just see. Yeah, so isn't that cool? And it create all of a sudden it went from ugly stage to, oh my goodness, look at, I see rocks. Okay. Oh, Cat Hand. That's funny. Cat Hand just messaged me. That's who's ding-donging me. That's ironic. Okay, cool. Now here's the other thing I want to get done today. I am making my own sketchbooks, and I've been experimenting, and they're called meandering sketchbooks because once you fold them and cut them, if you open them, you can go, okay, there, and I can draw and draw, but then I can go draw and draw, and then like this, and then it meanders. It meanders. So you can have sketches on all these different papers. This is just gray paper because I'm exploring and experimenting, which is cool. Let me see what Kat has to say. It's loading. Don't know why it's an issue. So, this is what I'm going to make. Sort of a zine. Okay, so this is my little paper cover. This is going to be my hard cover. And I got some watercolor paints. So it's going to go open like that. And then open like that. And then open like that. And it's just going to continue like this. And it's just going to be fun because I can paint on both sides. And I think it'll be clever. And then here's the back. And I'm not going to create a spine or anything like this. I'm going to use some twine to help close it up. And I think it will work out really, really well. Because I've got, if you could see behind me, I have got a pile, a dog pile of watercolor um, pieces like on the floor. So I need to figure out how am I going to keep them contained because I don't like to buy watercolor books. I like to buy pads and cut up the paper. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I don't know why. Don't know why, but I can't seem to load. Oh my goodness. Hang on. Hang on. Now my phone's ringing. Oh my goodness. See, this is the problem. Okay. Um, I will be right back, Karen. Hang on. 2 secs. Okay, I guess they didn't want to talk to me. That's okay. That's okay. I'm not offended. I'm really, really not offended. It's okay. Um, oh, nice. Okay, I managed to see Kat's message. Very nice. Lovely, lovely girl, right? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, because this is going to take some drying for this, I am going to get this glued on the cover, and I don't want it to be faffy, right? I don't want it to be finicky and to where I'm not going to use it. I just want to be able to use it and not worry about it. Okay, so we're just gonna glue this, and I'm gonna use a paintbrush because that seems to work the best. Okay, go check the curry. Do not burn the curry. Oh, my husband would be so disappointed. And when I tell him you're making curry, he's gonna be so jelly. He's gonna be like, "Okay, my turn. I want lamb curry especially. Are you using fresh lamb? Let me know when you get back." Yeah, he loves a good lamb curry. What am I making today? Chicken. Chicken. I took some chicken out. Okay, so there we go. There we go. I like to use glue because it gives me wiggle room to move it around. There we go. I've got, it's funny too because I've got a couple of lurkers on here who like to just use the stream for when they're trying to get work done. There, there we go. Actually, oh, we don't get a lot of fresh lamb here in Canada, I tell you what. And that is one thing we really, really enjoyed in Cyprus was fresh lamb. And you can tell the difference between fresh lamb and frozen and thawed out lamb. It has just a totally, totally different flavor. And I didn't like lamb before, and I figured out that it was because the lamb I was eating was frozen, and that's not happy. Okay, so I am going to glue this cover onto here, onto the first page. And I've got it so that there's a little bit of an overlap all the way around so it can be protected. Yeah, my husband would love that. Well, we don't have a lot of lamb farmers here. There's not a lot of lamb farmers in Canada. We focus mainly on beef and buffalo and chicken and pork. Not a lot of lamb. So we import most of the lamb. It just seems to be the way it is. Okay, make sure that we're dealing correctly here. Are you going to be watching any of the Olympics? Yeah, so when I do go to buy lamb, 9 times out of 10 it's frozen, and I'm not a fan of that. Sometimes I can find it at the butcher fresh. We have a butcher here locally that will sometimes deal in fresh lamb, and that will be a real treat. But it's very spendy too. So very, very spendy. Now this is going to be over the edge a little bit, but I'm not going to sweat it. But I am going to put a piece of paper there so that it doesn't stick. It's fantastic to see you too, Karen. Yeah, I'm going to be watching on and off. If you need to hop off to go and eat your dinner, awesome. I'm so glad you popped in. I really appreciate that. We're basically going to be letting glue dry, so no worries. Yeah, British lamb is awesome. It really is. So let's see how close I got it. Oh, pretty darn good. Okay. And then I need to flip it over and do the same for this side. And that's going to glue onto the back page of this. There we go. I have to get more glue, I think. Katie. Hi, Katie. How are you? Where are you? There you are. Katie, I loved your stream today. You did an awesome job on your stream today. I know you were kind of out of sorts, but you know what? It happens. It happens, Katie. Don't sweat it, man. Do not sweat it. So good to see you. I loved your resin chess set. I totally get. Uh, I was wondering actually about your chess set if the resin had set all the way or if it was too soon. Like I've never worked in resin, so I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, I got your name mixed up with Karen's there. Sorry about that. But I've always wanted to work in resin, and I haven't tried it yet. I'm very, very, very curious. I need another piece of paper. Hang on, right there. There we go. Don't worry, you didn't. Well, you didn't lose it. You were just having a blech. It happens. It happens. That's a descriptor, blech. It's a thing. Don't even worry about it. But I love that you. Oh my gosh, what an ambitious project! The chess set. Wow. I just love the fact that you tried that. I think it was amazing. I really do. And I loved the purple with the swirlies. I loved it. Yeah, like I don't, being that I don't know anything about resin, take it with a grain of salt. But I thought maybe it was just, uh, maybe it just needed to be left a little bit longer. I don't know. But I'm making a little meandering book. Oh, see, there's my husband, Karen. There's my hubby. He's back. Okay, so all it is a watercolor book that will be interesting because it opens up differently. See here? So, oh, hang on a second. So I can paint on this side and this side, and then I flip it over and then paint on this side and this side, and then flip it up. And I just think it'll be fun to help contain some of my watercolor. So, and all I'm going to do is bind it with a little bit of this stuff. Now I'm going to put it under a book for now because all of this got glued, and then I'll show it later. But earlier, Katie, I had been trying out some dot painting. I don't know if you've tried it before. I'm brand new, so it doesn't look great. Um, oh, my hubby is going to be so jealous of the lamb curry, I tell you what. So I found this at a thrift store. Oops, look what I did. This pencil box at a thrift store. And so I painted it black, and then I just started to do some dots on it. And so I did it on a rock earlier, and I made it all nice and shiny. So I want to do that with this and then put my pencils in it. So today's kind of a bit of a catch-up day. I'm catching up with a lot of things I was doing. And so that got done, and then I was working with some watercolor the other day when Karen was on, and then I do this neurographic art, and then I did it again with the base background, and then did neurographic lines, and then guess what? It turned into a bunch of rocks, turned into a bunch of pebbles because I did some shadowing, and so I was really, really happy with that. So I'm just gonna throw this under a big book to put this under. And the other thing I'm doing is I'm making some bookmarks. So I'm just doing some kind of, silly little things with the watercolor. And then I cut them. And I have a little library out front of my house. And I cut up the bookmarks to put them in the little library. So these ones I'm working on. I just did these ones, and they're just silly little flowers. That's all. Silly little, because I'm not an artist. So they're just kind of blobs. And the big thing is the doodling, right? I enjoy the doodling. So I'm making these for the library, and I'll put them out into the library, and then people take them with their books, and they enjoy it. So I enjoy it. And I was experimenting with a new palette of paints. See my little trees? So, but it's all brand new to me, so I'm just playing and experimenting. I did feathers the other day that were a disaster, but they're okay. So I like to be able to put them on a bigger piece of paper and then just cut them to size. And so people will get different color, different sized bookmarks. Nobody seems to care. They seem to be okay with it. But I realized with this kind of painting, you don't have to be very precise. You can just slop it on there. It's all good. It's all good. Just slop it on there. Oh, thank you, Katie. That's lovely of you. Well, I've wanted to open a little library forever, and I've never gotten around to it until we did this spring. So we just got a pre-made cabinet from the IKEA that was like in the as-is department, and then we just built a base for it, and I painted it, and we have a little library. And now people are dropping off toys in the little library. It's amazing. I'm so happy with it. So the thing is, I want to have my little book just to be doing little blobs of whatever and just to practice. And I think I was trying to do chickens. They're kind of funny. I don't laminate them. I tried to laminate them, but the laminate doesn't stick because this paper has some texture to it. It's the really thick paper. Hello, baby. My dog. My doggo. I have this is 300 GSM, but it's got texture to it. So I found out that the laminate was just peeling off. So sometimes what I do is I use this stuff I got on Amazon, and it's like a wax, and you can put it on and buff it off, and it will protect the watercolor so that when people put it in a book, it won't rub off or anything. I I don't know if my little library would be that much of a tourist attraction, but that's okay. I think my hubby's home. Hello. Yes, hubby's home. Karen's making lamb curry, just so you know. Ah, he's jelly. He's not getting that from me. Not today, anyways. Oh, he's got a curry pasty to put in, so that's good. Yes, we have a pasty company, British guy who makes homemade pasties, and so hubby likes them a lot. So he's gonna have one of those. So that's cool. But yeah, so I was just kind of practicing because I saw Diane and Diane Antoine, I want to say it is, and she does these amazing chickens, and she was showing how it's just all it is this swoop. That's all it is a swoop. So I was like, okay, I'll practice my swoops. Swoop, swoop, swoop. There you go. It's a swoop. And what I have discovered is that it's all in the doodle. It's all in the doodle. So she showed how to make little sheep too. And I was like, oh my God, look at those sheep, right? But when you, I know pasties are so good, right? When you do these little, the painted part, it's really literally just a, see, all my movements are noises. It's just like, that's it. It's just a blob, really. So when Prime Days came and I got my new Kuretake paints, which I'm so excited about. Uh, Karen saw me practicing with them. I just love them. So I'm going to practice doing these blobby blobs and see about creating more of these things and getting to know my paints better. And I don't know if you've tried the neurographic art, Katie, but it is great fun. And it's just you lay down your lines, and the key thing about neurographic art is that it has all the corners are rounded. You never have sharp corners, and that's all it is. And it's really meditative, and I sit in front of the TV and I'll do it. So even here, right, all these little lines, they all have rounded corners, and it's so relaxing and so much fun. And I will just do that in front of the TV, having a great time. And one day, what I did too was I was getting overwhelmed trying to figure out what colors match each other or go together really well and would be fun because my Kuretake set is really big. It's huge. It's really, really big. So it's hard to put on the table. So I thought, what if I went with the computer and I figured out colors that go together and that are fun matchy-matchy colors. So I did that. So I have 5 different sets of color that go together. And then I wrote down their numbers on from here So now if I want to, let's say I want to make more of these fun flowers, right? Then I can, like if I want to do it in these colors, I'll just pull out these colors and then just work with them. You really want to try what? It's, I know Karen tried it and she doesn't like it. That's funny. So we're gonna use these ones. So 37, 72, 14, and 11. I'm just gonna take them out, right? And I use the computer to find colors that go together really fun. So 37 is kind of a pinky color. 36, 35, 34. Where did it go? 32. Okay, it must be down here. Oh, this is the cherry blossom one. This is number 14. I know that. And then number 11 is this one. And then number 72. There's 37. See, they look nothing like they look in the palette. That's just the thing. That is just the thing. What am I missing? 72. I'm missing 72. 72. There it is. So now I can put the whole big set away. Oh, neurographic? Oh, yes. I enjoy neurographic. It's interesting to me. Oh, and I was going to show you, Katie, when you were doing your diamond art. Um, it's underneath here, but I have a picture I can show you. I think I mentioned to you that I did my own picture and I sent it away to be done. Let's see here. Oh, can I do this? I know how I can do this. I know how I can show you. Let's just see here. Yes, I thought I did. Okay. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the picture I did. So I sent them in. See if this is going to work. There we go. Let's go full screen. We'll see how the tech works here. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so let's see if I can show you the picture I did. I did big and small. The animals one. I did this one. I did that polar bear. I sent that away. And yeah, I want to tell you, remember you were saying how uh, it would be really hard to figure out which colors to pick for an image. Yeah, I wanted to do the polar bear, so I thought I can't even decide how to pick the colors, so I just sent it away and had somebody else make it. My username is Ukrainian, actually. My surname is Ukrainian. I'm sorry. Yes, my husband's family is from the Ukraine. So that's the picture because I wanted to show you, but I knew we couldn't do links in the chat. It was weird. Yes. I know it was from we visited the zoo and I took that picture in the zoo. Well, it's diamond painting. No, I didn't paint that. That was a photograph I took and then I sent it away to a diamond painting company and they turned it into a diamond painting. And it's like massively, it's really big. And it was like, oh my gosh. So under my table is glass. My tabletop is glass. I put a piece of glass on top so that I can store stuff underneath it. And I've got my diamond paintings under the glass so I can see them. And so that when I have everything cleaned off, you can see the diamond paintings and it's really fun. It's actually really quite fun. So, uh, Katie got me thinking about that the other day. So it was fun. Fun, 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 fun. So this is the colors I'm going to work with, and I just want to recreate some of these fun little blobby things so that I can make more um, bookmarks, right? And so I just have to practice my blobbies so that I can get to know my paints and my new brushes. I know, right, Karen? So cool, right? I really enjoy that. And it's a lovely little keepsake that I really enjoy. I really like it. Worked out so well. There we go. Okay, so I got my paint. Oh, Katie, I know. It was so fun when you made me think of that. It was just wonderful. So I am just going to make some blobby blobs and turn them into flowers with my doodles. That's it. Because I want to get to know this set of paints. And I just take them out of there. And then, okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit of water here. And then these guys are just so good because you don't need to soak them with water. But they're really, remember Karen, I was talking about how they are um, a lot more opaque than other colors. Diamond painting, I really like diamond painting. I really, really like it. Let's just tip this down a little bit. I really like it. It's so sparkly and it really plays into my desire for glitter. I really enjoy it. I know, right? I keep saying that too, Karen. I do. I do. I do. So that's why I usually end up just getting starter sets of things and then I go from there. And so, like, even with the dot painting, I just got a little starter set of paints. And then I use them for other things too. So, you know. So, yeah. So I'm just going to do blobby blobs. And I wanted to try something with my dragon. What do they call that? A dagger brush? I don't know. I don't know what the heck it is. Okay, so this is just a couple of different colors thrown together. But the dagger brush, apparently, you're apparently able to do. This is a dagger brush, and it's got this weird kind of whatever. Diamond painting is incredibly therapeutic. It really is. Okay, so I'm going to. That was until I discovered too this whole blobby painting business and the fact that The, well, what they call it now is reverse coloring. So you put the blobs of color down and then you doodle all over it. And its newfangled term is reverse painting. And they're even selling books that have just blobs on them. And then you just doodle all over them. Yeah, I was trying to try this. And actually, with the dagger brush, I was supposed to do it on dry, I believe. I don't know. I don't know. It's all new to me. No more space. I know, right? This is actually why on all my tabletops, uh, we have local buy nothing groups and stuff. I got, glass sheets of glass that were for tabletops or something, and I just lay them on top of my table, so I end up with um, an extra table space. And it works really, really well. Okay, I've seen this. Let's see if it works. That's interesting. Uh, I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see if it's going to work. And then I can kind of see when I doodle all over it what it'll look like. It'll be fine. Yeah, I try to keep all my crafty stuff just to this room, and so yeah, you end up having not a lot of space, and diamond painting can be surprisingly take up a lot of space. Um, but when you have like the Tic Tac boxes and stuff like you do, I have that set too, and that works out really well. And you can just keep them in the case and then tuck them under your bed or whatever, right? Okay, this is what I'm really terrible at is my thin little lines for stems and stuff. I'm terrible at that, but I'm practicing. I'm practicing. So I know these are going to end up being flowers. So I have my right hand, as Karen knows, does not work very well. So I practice. This is part of my practicing. There we are. We'll get it. We'll get it together. And then let's see if we can pretend that that one comes down like that. Yeah, like a tulip. Why not? We'll call it whatever we want to call it, right? Okay, and then we're going to do some leaves. There and abouts. Why not? And again, even my son had said I was trying to make my doodles too neat. And he's like, no, you have to be sloppier. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe how hard it is to be sloppy. It's so hard to be sloppy. And he's like, just do it. You can do it. Be sloppy. So these blobs don't have to be very neat. That's the beauty of it, right? No flower is perfect. And the thing is, you want the doodles to go over top of it, right? So, and something I've been enjoying doing is just these kinds of things. So, and it looks like nothing. And I remember when I was on the other day, I was saying you have to get past the ugly stage of the picture. And because every picture has an ugly stage, and then all of a sudden it comes together. It's crazy. It's crazy how that works. And it's same with that neurographic art stuff. It goes through this phase where it's terribly ugly. It's like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with this ugly picture? And then you say, no, you have to press forward, keep going, and then all of a sudden it looks good. So the more sloppy and loose you can be, I have found, the better it is. I know whimsical is good, right? And you know what, Katie? I try when I was trying to focus on it. This is one thing I've noticed. Let's let this fall down a little bit. When I tried to focus on it, it didn't work at all. I was really unhappy with it. And once I just did, um, what did I do? Let me just see. It doesn't matter what brush you use. Let's see. Even if I use like this bigger brush, and let's just go in here. So I would try to get it really, really neat. And these people would do the swishing down and over and everything. And I was like, I couldn't, it just was not playing the game for me. So then I said, fine, fine, I'll show you. I'll just do this. And I'm like, okay. And it just goes down and then it goes up. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Down, push down, and come up. And so then I thought, well, can I do that with every brush? If I can do it with every brush, then I know I've kind of got it, right? So sometimes I'll just sit there and some people like to do the double leaves, I guess, right? Like that. Then so then like even with this dragon brush, it's like, oh, what is that about, right? So I'm trying to just push and drag and up. See, that's a kind of cool looking leaf, right? And then you can just drag it, right? This brush, I want to learn more how to use it. I haven't used it very much at all. So I want to practice. But I've noticed the more sloppy you try to be, the better it ends up being. So even if you go down from the top to the bottom, right? So sometimes I just sit here and I go, okay, well, how am I going to do it? And then if you go really quickly, see? And I don't know if it's one of those muscle memory things where once you get it, that's it, you get it. And so this is why I'm trying to practice my stems, because my stems are the hardest thing with this hand, especially. So I'm trying to figure out if it's better to go from the bottom and swoop or go from the top and swoop. How does it, and some people say, do it with the brush way up high. So sometimes I'll just use up pieces of paper like this and just try to figure out how do I do that. It's starting to come, but I've seen people they can do these stems and everything just with the tip of any brush, and I'm like, no, no, see, that doesn't work. That's just a blob. You don't have time. I know, Katie. I know. See, but this is why I just take a pad of paper and I just chop it up. Because, yeah, I'm like, how is it that other people make it look so easy and I just couldn't get it? And then I realized, you know what? I'm overthinking it. I'm just overthinking it. Just don't overthink. And see, this brush is a weird brush, right? And I was like, but how do you hold it? How do what? And then I said, never mind. Just do it. Just hold. See, and I've wanted to be able to create these kind of funky leaves forever and it just never works. But now I'm just like, okay, never mind. I'm just going to do it. And this is my brush now for that. I enjoy that a lot. And then the other thing I learned was you need to go over with a different color, even if I'm going to just focus on the doodles, right? If you go over with another color, so I was doing mainly this one, and then this is kind of like a olive green thing, right? So then, where's this one might be almost dry. Yeah, the leaves are almost dry. So then if I go with the olive green, oh, it's not too light though. I need a lighter green. But that's the thing, if you're traveling or anything like that too, Katie, if you sit there and just practice your stems or your leaves and not worry about it being perfect. So there's a little bit of the brighter green. Yeah, you have to just flow, not think, right? So I go down, swoosh up, just like that. And then when it dries, you get these different colors. And with the Kuretake paints, that's the one thing I've noticed is that they are a lot more opaque than other watercolors. So I'm really enjoying that. So it's going to dry basically what you see. It's not going to dry faded, right? And then, just like that, right? And then when I go to doodle, because that's really it. Now, when I go to do this is something I'm enjoying is where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, these guys. These guys. I'm enjoying these guys. They're just birds. They're just blobs though, right? They're just blobs. So while we let those blobs dry, I can show you actually what these other paints do, which I'm enjoying. And I've got my little markers. These are just cheapo Ohu markers, right? But these little paints are really interesting because they are like, I don't know if you hear people talking about granulating um, paints. Anyways, that's what these do. And so when I want to make my bird blobs, and I'm still practicing, I'm still getting to know how to do it. Let's see if I can let's do a bird blob, right? There, right? So we've got a nice blob of water, right? Just a blob of water. Now let's make sure it's good and wet. So what happens is you don't end up with any hard lines, right? Okay. And then let's do blue. We'll do bluish and brownish. Okay. So these don't need a lot of paint either. Just the water on your brush is really all you need. Okay. So then if we start at the top and because I wet the paint first, the paint's not going to go past the water, right? So we'll just do this. I'll go down here. I love these colors. It's this amazing blue color. I enjoy that. Okay, so hopefully you can see that this is kind of a blue, but you see how it's really dark at the top? And then we're going to add to this the brown, right? And I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of water left down here. So we're going to go here, take off some of this. It's a little bit dark, right? This. And we're just going to let it run. That's it right there. So then we have the two colors that run together, but they're beautiful. And then we'll do it again, but this time what do we do? We'll do a brown and a yellow. Okay, so let's do another blob. I know they're not blobs, they're whimsical. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm just going to do a blob here. And oh, he's going to be, apparently he's getting a little bit bigger. Where is he pointing? That's the only thing, is we got to figure out where he's pointing. Okay, we're going to have him pointing this way, right? So they can be facing each other, right? So this guy, get some good water on the page, right? So it's not dripping, but it's really nice and wet. And then you can see, where you've got water and where you don't. So let's go to the brown, and we'll do that at the top. And see, even when I turn the page, it's not going to go past where the water line is. There we go. Oh gosh. Do you know, I can't even tell you how much of a compliment that is, because that's what I say about everybody else. I say, how do they make it look so easy? Oh my gosh. How come it flows out for them so easy? So I'm going to take some of this away. Some of the color, because I don't want it too dark. See, I'm just going to go down like this. And as long as the paper is wet where you want it to be wet, then it won't travel anywhere else. Okay, and then I think we should go with a yellowish. They call this yellow black, right? I hope you're feeling better though, Katie. I hope you get better rest tonight. I really do. Because, ugh, I have trouble sleeping and it's so bad. I tell you, I know what it's like just to feel like you're not on your game and things are just not switching on very good. I totally understand. Let's push some of this. See, when you wet the paper first, you have a lot more drying time. And I'm glad it looks like I know what I'm doing. That's awesome. Okay, so there's our second blob. Wait, whimsical bird. And then we're going to make a third one. And I think I'm going to make him looking down. So I'm just going to do a blob here. And that's a lot of water, so I'm going to take some of that water off. So the only thing I'm looking for in my blob is the fact that where's his back and where's his belly. That's all I need to know. You're still, you're not coming down with something though, are you? But the thing is, sometimes having a really long nap is not great either. It makes you feel more tired for some weird, bizarre reason. But hopefully you'll be able to feel a bit better and you're not coming down with anything. So here's purple, because I know what it feels like when you feel like you're just dragging your butt around and it's just like, oh my God, it shouldn't be this much work just to stay awake. So this is a purpley color. And you notice how it seems like it's got texture to it. That's what the granulating paints are. And I love these colors. I don't have to mix them. I create rocks with these colors because they're so earthy and nice. So that's what I do with them. So what goes with purple? Well, let's do blue just because why not? But I think too, Katie, if you're feeling like you're kind of worn out too, it's a really good idea to take a break from streaming and just, use that time to catch up on things and, maybe go on other people's streams, but don't have the pressure of streaming because you've got so much on your plate right now. These are called graphite paints. Um, Where did the lid just go? They are. I don't have the lid. Yeah, they're called graphite paints. Oh, here it is. Here it is. And so they've got like reddish brown, and Kuretake makes their own. I think this is just an off brand. So it was like $8 or something for these. And they're the bigger pans like the Kuritakes, but you use so little of them. I think this is gonna last me forever. And the other one I have that I'm gonna use with my blobs are the Starry Night, the Ganzai Tambe Starry Night, and these gold colors dance. I tell you, they dance. They make me very very happy. Yeah, exactly. You guys are both in the same boat, and I get that actually in the afternoon as well. So you have to just go with it. You have to do what your body feels like. But these, again, you don't need a lot of paint. Um, so they go really really far. So when Amazon decides they're going to put them on sale, I run and I get them. So I mean, these two things are going to last me forever, and these gold ones are so pretty. They are crazy pretty. They are crazy pretty. So what I normally would do is, while this is drying, I'm just gonna use a marker, and uh I'm going to, let's say they're sitting on the branches, right? Because they're birds. They're birds. Let's just pretend, right? Let's just pretend. So then they need legs. So let's just say, okay, that's a leg, and that's a leg, and they're gonna be on here, and maybe they have little kneecaps because why not? Because that's cute. And then this one, he is pointing down, so one leg is going to be longer than the other. And we'll give him a little kneecap and a little kneecap. I mean, why not, right? And then this one, let's say he's looking up there, so the back leg and the right leg, and give him a little toes and a little kneecap and that, right? Okay, so they're still a little bit wet, but I can still sneak a beak in, which is a little triangle. And this little guy is looking down, so he needs a little triangle. And then I'm going to put like an orangey colored paint in there. And then we're going to do an eye there, and an eye there, and an eye there, because why not? And because we're dealing in whimsy, let's just do something fun. I need to get my white marker. It's just a jelly marker. And let's do a little white there. You can barely see it, but you can see it on paper. There. And there. And again with the leaves, right? I'm terrible, terrible, terrible at leaves. So I understand that these are going to be doodled. So I'm going to draw the leaves in first, and then I'm going to paint over them. So with doodling in mind, let me go with a little bit of a thinner marker. All right. Because we're just going to doodle, right? There, and there, and there. And then I'm going to throw a little bit of paint on top. There. And there. And these are whimsical, so they need something fun. Because why not? It is us three birds. Who knew? Who knew? And let's see. Every movement needs a noise. How much fun is that, right? Okay. So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw on. Gotta let this dry. We're gonna throw on a little dab of orange. We just need a little this tiniest bit because beaks are the tiniest little bit. You see, you're not taking much at all. And this just goes in here. Plop, 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 and plop. That's it. We just need a little bit of color. A little bit of color, a little bit of something, 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 something. And then what we're going to do is we'll get the green. Let's get a fun green. Let's do a fun green. We'll just do this fun green. And this is going to be for our leaves. So we just need to plop it down. We got blobs and plops. And I've realized that the less neat you are, the better it is. But if you're going to be less neat, you have to be very brave. Very brave. Because our brains don't want to not be in the lines. Tweet, 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 tweet. See, they're coming along, right? They're coming along. And you notice how the paint just did all the work? I didn't do anything for these. The paint did all the work, right? So now the other thing is a doodle is not a doodle unless you outline what you're doing, right? So I think we're doing okay. So, and this is where you have to be brave too, because you can't be that precise and neat about it. You have to be sloppy. You have to be brave to be sloppy and not worry. And this is how I'm getting over my perfectionism too. All right. And I tell you what, ladybirds, we got to add some sparkle, right? Got to add some sparkle. So I'm going to, not that big of a brush, not too big of a brush, but we need to be able to see the sparkles. So let's do this. And this color, I'm going to see if I can't zoom in for you guys because the amount of beautiful color dancing that happens. Let me just see about this. Okay. Let's zoom, zoom, zoom. Let's zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, so I think I'm gonna choose this beautiful gold. And you're gonna see, I hope you'll see the metallic dancing. It is just the most pretty thing I think I've ever seen. And in the palette, I don't think you can see it. No, you can't see it, but I can see it. It is just dancing. So we're gonna put some leaves. We're gonna put some feathers. And we're going to put some feathers over here. We're just going to follow the curve of his body. Splotch and splotch and splotch. And it is glittering and it is beautiful. And then this guy gets the same treatment, but it will show up really beautiful on his blue. There we go. Look at how beautiful. Birdie love. Oh, there we go. Right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to zoom out a bit and we're going to do our little whimsical splashes. So we're going to take some of this. And I don't splash neatly. I just splash. And then I'm going to take some of this green color because that's fun and happy color. Because it will help mimic some of the leaves. And it just makes it more fun and happy. And then yellow. I think the yellow will be happy too. I'm really into these whimsical pictures because they're just so happy. So let me just see if I can zoom in a little bit. See, so we've got some lovely little splashes going on. And their gold is dancing. And they're on their little branches with their little leaves and being all happy, happy, happy. Just so silly. Just so silly. But the gold, in person, you can see the gold. It's lovely, lovely. And then these guys, I mean, you know, it's very, oh, here we go. All we're going to do, they're still a little bit wet, but all we're going to do is do this and do this. And then we can go like that, and we'll just put some little fluffer nutters there, and little there, there, and let's just put some little swirlies. And of course, we're gonna do the leaves as well. But you have to really not worry about not being perfect. Hello, baby. My dog just came back in the room. He's so happy. He's such a happy boy. There we go. And then we can just do a little bit more. I have to put some gold. I have to put some gold. Let's put some of this other gold in there. Right? And then it shines when, see, no gold and gold. Oh, and then we're gonna throw some splats on there too. Why not? Because you know what? We can. there. And I like doing whimsical stuff. I've noticed it just makes me happy. I'm not neat and tidy with my splatters, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. There we go. How much fun is that, right? And I can cut this up into bookmarks or not. It's okay. But yeah, that's really, and look at how, see, these are my other guys and these are these guys. Look at that, right? They're just blobs. Just blobs, blobs. So happy about that. But yeah, if you practice your leaves and don't overthink them, and with the kuritakis, I enjoy the kuritakis because look at this is dry and it didn't get all faded like other watercolors do. It just doesn't. So I'm really, really happy with that. So those are my just my little fun little uh whimsical drawings. I'm going to cover this in, see, it's all dry now. I'm going to cover this in lacquer stuff and then I can show that next time. And my book is being pressed and I got so much done today, guys. So much fun. I enjoyed that a lot. I really, really enjoyed that. And I'm glad you guys got to come and visit. I hope you get to see some of the Olympics. That'd be cool. That's cool. I'm going to try to watch a little bit of the opening ceremonies. I'm going to grab some lunch. It's noon here. And oh, it must be getting later for you guys. So, anyways, I am going to head off. I really enjoyed the stream today with you guys. That's awesome. I got some of my backlog things done. And then when these dry, I can put some of this waxy stuff on it and it'll protect it for in the little library. That will be cool. And if you, yeah, if you want to know about the paints or anything, just let me know. And I'll let you know what they are and whatnot. 5 p.m.? Oh, not so bad. I'm glad you got to see this too, Katie, and I hope it added a little bit of fun into your tiredness. And I hope you get some rest and I hope you're feeling better. Just go with the flow. Just do you and do whatever it is you need to do. Don't stress about anything. Karen, thank you so much for coming by. As always, you're lovely to see. And I'm going to head out, you guys. You guys go and enjoy the rest of your day. Watch some Olympics, chill out, and rest when you need to. I'm glad you came by. I will talk to you later.